All right, so first things first, you're probably going to notice this is a little bit different of a setup than I normally have. And that's just because I'm kind of trying something a little bit new of a angle of the apartment, and just not using the tripod that sticks up super high and then I have to adjust, and my back hurts after recording for like 10 minutes. So just trying something a little bit new, a little more relaxed. Um, I guess kind of fits the theme though, because for this video I kind of didn't want to like have any kind of script or anything. I just want to kind of give my thoughts and hopefully it helps you out. So I guess I could start off with a story of that. Throughout all my years of training, I always kind of struggled to hit my rear delts, and that goes for like any exercise I was doing. The only exercise that I feel like it would kind of hit my rear delts in a good way was the rear delt fly, and it's just on like a normal pec fly machine, and you kind of like the starting positions in the middle, and you kind of travel your arms backwards to hit your rear delts. Um, and I found success for that for a while, probably like a year or two. And I got really comfortable with the exercise. And I noticed after a while, like even if I went heavy on it, I wasn't getting that same rear delt activation. Like it just kind of felt bland at that point. Like it felt kind of tried and it felt old. Um, so I went out on a limb, and instead of just like trying to mash more weight on it, I went on the internet and I just looked up all these different um, rear delt exercises. And one that I kind of was reluctant to try, it's like, I don't know what exactly the exercise is called, but it's on a cable, and your arm starts at like a high position, and you kind of come down like that, and you just come like diagonally across your body, and it activates your rear delts, and you like squeeze at the end, and then you control it on the way back up to get like a nice stretch on the rear delt. And in the past, when I saw that exercise like on YouTube or on shorts or anything, I kind of just looked at it and I was like, that looks fucking funky. There's no way I'm doing that. Like, screw that noise. I'm just gonna keep doing my. And I was never really a fan of like the one limb exercises, like Bulgarian split squat, single leg squat, single leg press. Um, I was never really a fan of those unilateral exercises. But I decided to go out on a limb. I decided to try this new rear delt exercise, and it lit up my rear delts like I hadn't experienced in years with other exercises. So I guess the point I'm trying to make in this video is the a whole bunch of other fitness influencers and the like science-based lifting community will tell you like, oh, well, you gotta find what exercise works for you, and then like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, kind of a thing. And I see a lot of people get into this kind of habit of they get a routine down, they get going, they find what works for them, they find their favorite movements, and they never try to branch out. They never try to find a different movement. They never like experiment. Like a new gym goer is always experimenting. Like everything in the gym is new. Like you have this sense of exploration. Like you're trying all these new exercises, and you're like seeing what you like, seeing what you hate, and even movements that like I maybe wouldn't have liked a year or two ago. I try them now, and it's different. Like I might actually like it now, and I might actually enjoy it. Like for the last couple of years, I was doing since my gym I was going to before it didn't have a lot of free weights, so I wasn't really doing like free weight squats. I was doing all Smith machine stuff, all leg press for legs. So I just got so used to not doing squat that I was kind of just comfortable in it, And when I actually moved to a gym that did have free weights, I kind of caught myself getting in this like, oh, well, I'll do leg extensions, then I'll do leg press, then I'll go do some hamstring exercises. And I never like went back to squat again until just recently. I elected to try squat again, and my legs are my legs and my glutes are absolutely fried. And another thing to kind of like piggyback off of that is like kind of just fuck what everybody says. Like, because I see comments all the time, like on Instagram or on YouTube, where it's like, and even in like science based communities, science based YouTube channels, where it's like, oh, well, the the squat's a good exercise, but it's not the best for hypertrophy. And the fatigue that it gives you is like not as big of a bang for your buck as like the hack squat. For me, hack squat just doesn't work for me because it like it fucks up my knees every single time I try to do a hack squat. I look at the form, I try to like every so often, like every couple months, like I try to do it again and it just doesn't work. Like my body, I don't know if it's like how tall I am or like how I can't be the form because like I obsessed over the form and like try to perfect it. And I tried going light. It's just not a good movement for me. Um, I recently, even though like all the science evidence based stuff was telling me like, oh, hack squat's the best for hypertrophy of the like muscle growth in the glute or in the quads, not squat. When I went to back squat just today or yesterday in my gym, my quads and my glutes are lit up right now. Um, and I know that like soreness isn't the only indicator of growth, but I whenever I was doing like leg press and leg extensions alone, like just leg pressing, my glutes never really like felt sore or tired. Like they would be like shaking by the time I was done the workout, but I would recover like super quick from it. Um, so I'm just kind of gonna experiment and keep going that way, and like see if my quads like get more significant growth and I adapt better. Because like just hack squat that never really worked for me, even though that like the science and everybody else like commenting on it was like, oh yeah, hack squat's technically the best. Um, so like you just kind of need to find that, and you kind of just need to ignore what everybody else says, like what technically the best exercise is for that. Because I had the same thing happen with biceps as well. Because for years and years and years, I jammed just like normal, like my first exercise for biceps all of the time was bicep curl. Just normal, like standing uh, bilateral bicep curls for years. And the weight went up over time. Like I was able to get more weight and everything, but my biceps like never really had the stimulus that like my biceps are one of my kind of lagging muscles. And I don't have like super small biceps by any means, but when I stopped doing, because it's like I've kind of gotten into a pattern now where I don't give the same exact stimulus. I try to train every muscle 2 to 3 times a week. I don't give the exact same stimulus all 3 of those or 2 of those days. So if on day one of biceps, I do a normal bicep curl and then I do like a hammer curl after that, on the next bicep day, I might do like like a preacher curl and then a hammer curl or something. Cause like the way that my split's organized, sometimes like because I do like the big muscle groups twice a week and the smaller muscle groups 3 times a week, there's a day in my routine where I'm doing back or I'm doing I would do like back the day before biceps. So my back would be sore or recovering when I'm trying to do biceps. So getting an easy bar, I was trying to do like easy bar curls when the day before that it was back. So having the easy bar like in front of my body, trying to curl it up, I would feel it immediately in my back, and my back would like be taking like the brunt of it. So you kind of got to like work around your program in that way to kind of, I realized for myself, like, I need to take my back out of the equation because I'm not able to go as hard on my biceps because my back is getting in the way. Like, my back is fatigued and it's getting in the way. So I did preacher curls instead, and it's been kind of working for me. So I guess just the kind of takeaway from this video is, like, you can listen to the advice of like the fitness-based community and like see people's advice online, but don't take it as gospel. Don't get into a routine, and don't make your programming like optimal for what the science-based community or other people say, and then just stick with that forever. Because it's like, oh, well, my program's optimized, so I'm just going to jam that program forever. And don't do that. Like, experiment with, like, always be experimenting. Always be looking at different exercises. Don't get too comfortable and don't get too complacent with your routine. Because I'm guilty of that. And that led to me just not getting as good of a stimulus on the muscle groups that I was working. And when you do experiment like that, it kind of keeps the gym fresh, right? Like, if you've been jamming the same routine for a year and a half, you're not going to be as motivated or excited to go to the gym because it's like, I've seen this all before. Like, I've done this routine twice a week now for a year. Like, it's just going to be stale at that point. Like, you're not going to be as motivated to get into the gym and do your thing as if you were at home the other day eating your meal, looking at YouTube, and maybe shoulders is feeling a little stale, so you look up some some like mid delt exercise, and like maybe you've been jamming like dumbbell lateral raises for like a year. You've just been doing them, and then maybe you see like a cable variation that you like. So the next time you go into the gym, you're going to be excited because it's something new. You're going to want to try that new exercise. And that doesn't mean that, new week, new exercise, but it's like, if you've been doing the same exact layout and the same exact exercises for like 4 or 5 months, like, maybe it's time to change something up. And if it doesn't feel stale to you and you're crushing it and you're going up in weight, then if you want to stick with that same exercise, by all means. But, there's multiple lifts that I was kind of stagnating in, biceps being one of them. And when I changed something around, and rear delts as well, and when I changed it around to that like cable diagonal exercise, and when I changed, changed the stimulus of my biceps from like a normal curl to a preacher curl to a incline curl the next day. So when I switched up the stimulus in each day that week that I trained that muscle, it really helped. It keeps things fresh, and it makes me more excited to go into the gym because I'm not just like, oh well, all right, let's go do back squat for the second time this week in a row. Like, all right, no. Instead, it's all right. Let's do our heavy leg day today. We'll do heavy like back squat. We'll do leg extensions, and get into our hamstring work and our calf work. The second week, it's like, all right, we'll go a little bit lighter. We'll start with a leg extension, then we'll go to like a leg press for the second day of the week, and then we'll just like it's like a lighter, less fatiguing stimulus on your body. So it like really lets you recover for that next week. So I hope this video helped you. If you want personal help from me, and want to talk to me directly, my website link is going to be in the description. You have it in you to be great. Goodbye.